I will explain the scenario. Jack, an undergraduate student at University Kebangsaan Malaysia (UKM), was visited by his father Joel for the purpose of purchasing university essentials. After completing the shopping and returning to campus, they were unable to find nearby parking, forcing Jack's father to park his vehicle across the road. After they had finished carrying the items to Jack's dormitory, Jack realized he had left his mobile phone in the car. He hurried back to retrieve it but neglected to take the car keys. Realizing this, his father followed closely behind to hand him the keys. At that moment, a motorcyclist named Ahmad, who was distracted by his phone while riding, struck Jack. Jack suffered from brain damage that caused frequent seizures, hence, he is the first victim. Jack's father, Joel, was the secondary victim, as he is a direct eyewitness to this collision. As a result of the trauma from witnessing the accident, he developed clinically proven major depressive disorder (MDD) and post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD). He now suffers from chronic anxiety triggered by the sight of passing vehicle. Consequently, Jack's family has initiated legal proceeding against Ahmad, seeking compensation for the nervous shock and psychiatric injury sustained by their father.
I will explain the definition of nervous shock. So nervous shock basically is a psychiatric illness caused by deliberate acts of negligence. So psychiatric illness includes all forms of mental illness, neurosis, and personality change that are medically recognized.
One of the cases that referred by our group is Uncle Ahmad Fazil bin Uncle Ali and Nur Shakila binti Muhammad Saiful Islam 2025. In this case, the plaintiff suffered psychiatric illness or serious nervous shock because of being forced to abort her pregnancy. Okay, in this case, the court held that the plaintiff had suffered foreseeable nervous shock arising from the abortion.
Other than that, the case and a child suing Tort her father and litigation representative versus SNA and another. The plaintiff side suing her biological mother and uncle for negligence of parental breach of duty of care, claim for the nervous shock. Even though the plaintiff witness already submit several recording and brought her daughter to psychiatric professions, but in the end, the report from Hospital Shah Alam indicates that the plaintiff doesn't suffer a mental illness. This is distinguished with the issue between Ahmad, Jack and Joe. Because the evidence in the issue is more obviously that Ahmad negligence and caused nervous shocks to Joe.
On the 18th August 2018, plaintiff and his family checked in Sunway Putra Hotel for a family vacation. On the last day of stay, which is 21st August 2018, plaintiff's son, the deceased, Adele, and his younger brother, together with their cousin, went to the pool with two domestic helpers. The defendant's employee was on duty to watch the pool area. The deceased was bathing in the jacuzzi and suddenly sucked down by strong suction, trapped underwater, and could not be pulled out. Domestic helper raised the alarm and the employees tried and unsuccessfully to rescue him. Plaintiffs were informed and rushed down. First plaintiff pulled out the deceased out with bluish skin, bloated and unconscious. First plaintiff performed cardiopulmonary resuscitation (CPR) and assisted by the hotel staff. The deceased was rushed to the hospital and placed under the intensive care unit (ICU), but unfortunately declared brain dead by the doctor. The parents had to make painful decision and agree to withdraw life. Aftermath, the second plaintiff, the wife, which is the mother, suffered nervous shock as of the result of the incident. Second plaintiff suffered post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) and major depressive disorder that require her to undergo continuous treatment at Sengkang Hospital.
In the recent case of N against SNA and another 2025, a claim for negligence and shock was dismissed due to weak evidence. So how does this precedent affect Joel's claim against the motorcyclist Ahmad? In N against SNA, The court gave little weight to the psychological assessment because the hospital reports showed no actual illness. This is where Joel's cases is different. Joel has clinically proven major depressive disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. Unlike the child in that case, Joel has the gold standard of medical proof. The court in N against SNA also found the evidence too inconsistent regarding when and where the trauma happened. For Joel, the when and where is undisputed. His narrative is consistent, meeting the balance of probabilities that the case requires. Finally, the N and SNA case relied on video recordings, which the court found insufficient. Joel doesn't need recordings. He was a direct eyewitness who perceived the accident with his own senses. This direct perception is far more reliable in a court of law than second-hand media. Ultimately, N against SNA teaches us that without medical proof and consistency, you lose, because Joel has a clinical diagnosis and witnessed the crash firsthand. He bridges the gaps that caused the N against SNA claim to fail. In tort law, the strength of your evidence is the strength of your case.
So for the application part, to apply the case with our scenario or situation, based on the case of Engku Ahmad Fazil bin Engku Ali versus Nur Shakila binti Muhammad Saiful Islam 2023, one of the elements for nervous shock is where there is duty of care owned by the defendant towards the plaintiff. The existence of the duty of care is where when the nervous shock is reasonable to be foreseen. Applying the case in the reasonable foreseeable that Joel would suffer nervous shock after witnessing Jack's accident, which occurred due to Ahmad's negligence. The accident was horrifying and happened directly in front of Joel, and there is a close relation between Jack and Joel, making it reasonable to foresee that such incident could cause serious psychological harm such as PTSD and major depressive disorder. Moreover, based on the case of Engku Ahmad Fazil bin Engku Ali and Nur Shakila binti Muhammad Saiful Islam 2023, the psychiatric injury was foreseeable and directly connected to the incident. The harm suffered was not a trivial emotion upset, but a serious psychiatric injury. To apply, Joel has experienced trauma, suffering from the anxiety each time he sees a car passing by. Joel's condition has been clinically proven. Therefore, where there is reasonable foreseeable of nervous shock, a duty of care will exist. So, for the issue of our scenario is, for the first, whether Joel could claim for the nervous shock due to the Ahmad negligence, and secondly, whether Joel could claim for the damages suffered. So, in a conclusion, Joel could claim for the nervous shock due to Ahmad negligence because of all the nervous shock element has been fulfilled, and also Joel could claim for the damages suffered.